Today's movie is Where the Crawdads Sing. In the first hour of this movie, I had a lot of questions, but then I got into it and felt it's a very good movie with a very good story. First, a recap, spoiler alert. Kaya raised herself as a child in 1950s North Carolina marsh after her mother left her abusive father, and all her older siblings left one by one. As a teenager, she became an expert in the wildlife of the marsh and published books. She was in love with two boys from the town, Tate and Chase. Chase was engaged to a girl from the town. Chase got murdered, and Kaya was a suspect. After a trial, the jury found Kaya not guilty. Kaya marries Tate, and they live together in the marsh until old age. After Kaya dies a natural death, Tate finds out that Kaya had in fact murdered Chase. At the beginning, I had a lot of questions. First, mothers don't just abandon their children to fend for themselves with an abusive father. Secondly, Kaya raised herself. She needs social services. Third, she became an expert on wildlife with no training. And it seems more likely that Tate and Chase would date high school girls they would have spent more time with. And then a murder? Really? Dahlia Owen, who wrote the book this movie is based on, is a research biologist. With that in mind, I believe that the marsh is a metaphor for nature, natural sciences, reading, and intellectual pursuits. The parents and siblings leaving the marsh is a metaphor for once there was a group of nerdy children interested in nature and science, and one by one they grew out of it and left to do other things. Kaya had a persistent interest in natural sciences. And then the relationships, Tate and Chase, both wrestled with the same conflict, which is what a woman should be. They are both drawn to Kaya, who is intelligent and a scientist, but they also have the social expectation that women should be interested in parties and makeup and being pretty. Their approach to this conflict is very different. Tate realizes that he cannot reconcile his feelings for Kaya with conventional gender expectations, so he leaves. But Chase decided to marry a conventional girl from the town and then have an affair with Kaya on the side, which is not okay. Then there is the murder and trial, which started at the beginning of the movie and intercuts with the rest of the story. I believe the main purpose of the trial is to involve the townspeople in Kaya's story. Throughout the movie, we don't see Kaya interact a whole lot with the town folks. The movie does not portray the townspeople as narrow-minded or mean, nor does it show them as generous and understanding. With the trial, we see the town folks come forward to testify both for and against Kaya. In the end, after many courtroom scenes, after going back and forth, the town found her innocent, showing that the townspeople came through for Kaya. They sided with nature, objectivity, a woman they barely knew, and upheld justice the way they saw it.